Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Woodland. This is the 9th session of Rootless, a game of might, right, and arson. My name is Colin. I will be your Woodland Whisperer, aka your GM for the evening. Let's meet our voracious Vagbonds. Thelonious?
Hi, my name is Michael, and I play Thelonious from the Ronin playbook. And I'm supposed to do an animal facts. Me as an animal with no fact in this moment is a fact. Does that work? Are we going to play that? Are you going to push me?
Nope, that plays. You beautiful animal.
The best animal in the world was produced by Jim Henson.
Hi, I am Megan. I play Cal the Deer Tinkerer. You can find me at Megan O'Keppy on my socials like TikTok, Instagram, and eventually Twitch. My animal fact today is that goats can develop accents, and the sounds they make can vary depending on who they are with and where they live.
That's so cool.
I'm just picturing a goat with a New York accent now.
Colin, please give us that goat scream, that New York goat scream.
I'm walking here.
Oh no, that was painful.
Yeah, it was.
Hello, I'm Reggie. I play Sanbi, our musical little otter. You can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Runny Quiche. My animal fact today is that slugs have 4 noses.
Sally the slug had 4 no.
My name is Emily. I play Red, the squirrel scoundrel. And my animal fact is that a group of penguins in the water is apparently called a raft, whereas a group of penguins on land is called a waddle.
Hi, I am Lou. I play Rebecca the Harrier. You can find me at Off His Maracas on TikTok and Instagram. And my animal fact is that some people have been known to own fish.
I'm one of those people. My animal fact is that starfish do not have brains. I'm not really entirely sure how they operate, but somebody that knows more about science can tell me about that.
I'm pretty sure that Reggie made that one already.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
someone else already had that animal
Ha
fact.
ha ha ha.
Scoundrel.
Well, I have been fooled. I have been less scoundreled. Let me
You
look
think
up
we
a-
don't check our facts? You think we don't have a tab?
I do the SpongeBob quotes around here.
Reggie is gonna sue Colin.
And I have been sued. How about polar bear skin is black? Have we had that one?
Don't think we have.
Maybe I knew it, so I can't remember where I know it's from, whether it's from this or something else.
Someone in Lou's subconscious already knew that one, so you can't use it.
And sued again.
Sued
I
by
said
Lou.
someone in my subconscious as if there's people in here.
All right. Lose schizophrenia aside. Last we left off, the group made their way through the secret lab, eventually finding Chunk, Dr. Weemspley, as well as some familiar cybernetic arms that were mounted to the roof. They were able to fight off the group and ultimately rescue Dr. Weemspley, foiling Chunk's plans. Thelonious had a long-awaited one-on-one with Chunk and discovered some information regarding Ilya, his mother. Then we did ultimately see Chunk's demise per his own hands. And we eventually panned out and saw Windgap Refuge sort of as it was before the Marquee, or at least getting there, a happy, perhaps clandestine location for all of its inhabitants. And we ended the session with the party chatting to Bam Bam, who gave some information to Red, and then eventually made her exit, as well as Z and the doctor, who are still with you guys in the room. So that's kind of where we'll pick up here with you guys in the lab. Bam Bam has just exited. The doctor and Z are still recovering and sort of fixing up their wounds, but for all intent and purposes, things are quiet at the moment. What is everybody doing? What does everybody want to be doing?
There's a couple of things that we need to do, but first, do you mind if we have a nap? It's been a bit long.
You wanna lay down right here on the side of the mountain?
I mean, we could go down there, but I really wouldn't be forced.
I think here's a good a place as any. We can maybe even lock the door to my workshop. And yeah, there was some times where I stayed up too late working on projects, so we might be able to find some soft things to lay on in here.
Are we in your workshop right now?
I think in or just outside.
I think just outside. I think, yeah, most of you guys had been filtering into Red's workshop, as that's where the doctor had gone. I don't know that everybody quite made it in there, but yeah, for you guys can say that you're in there if you want.
I wonder
mean-
though if we should check on Guy and Bormolo and the Silk Handkerchiefs and see how things went with them. Or if they can take care of themselves for the next however long we want to rest for.
That's a good point. Yeah. I don't think I've seen Guy since before we laid siege to this place. How long ago was that? It feels like 20 minutes and 3 days simultaneously.
At this point, Z will also speak up. I wouldn't mind going to the general store and bandaging myself up. And any of you are welcome to take a rest there whenever you see fit to. I would be happy to have a conversation, Red. Maybe when we're both in a better position, or at least myself in a better position.
Okay, yes, Z, I think we should talk, but yeah, I'm okay with going down to the general store. Rebecca, do you think you can make it there?
Yeah, I mean, what's one more track?
I mean, I don't think it takes all of us to check on Guy or the silk handkerchief. So I think some of us could do that, but Rebecca, I think you really need the rest.
Oh, I don't know. We've been apart for so long, and that didn't end really well.
You have
Um,
injuries. You should be taking a minute or several or hours.
She pokes at the stab wounds, kind of as if she's forgotten they were there. Went, ooh, I'm awake now. Okay, no need for a nap. We're good.
Can I try a figure someone else move on Z? Does that kind of work like insight?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's cunning, right?
Yep. I'm just trying to get a read on, this in between the line conversation with Red. That's a 9.
Yeah. On a 9 there. What exactly are you looking for? What questions do you want to ask?
I mean, I guess just a gut check between, nefarious or not nefarious in this context of like, I'll talk to you whenever you want, right? Like,
Yeah, he's
like we just went through like hell. Like,
yeah, he seems pretty on the line. There's nothing like in his voice. There's no like he turns his back and his eyes, squint or anything like that. No, he just seems like a friendly, maybe almost fatherly type figure, who's like pretty rough around the edges and pretty blunt in the way that he speaks, but there doesn't necessarily seem to be anything malicious in his intent.
And Dr. Weemspley, are you injured? You should probably come too and get any healing or get these things taken care of.
Yes, I've had a mind to visit Ursa for some time, but I kept forgetting to, and now I know why. And he sort of like rubs his back where the IVs were, inserted into him. I actually feel pretty good, better than I have in quite some time. But yes, I wouldn't mind a little sojourn into town. I think my hands could use the rest, and perhaps my feet could use the motion.
Okay, that sounds good.
Red, it's so good to see you again, and I just wanted to thank you all for rescuing me from what I can only imagine would be a certain doom at some point. My body was being overworked, I think, quite difficultly. I haven't much to offer in terms of material goods, but if you're looking for a place to stay or some equipment to be worked on, I'm happy to do so free of charge and anytime you're here at Windgap.
Well, thanks, Dr. Weemsley. I think we might actually take you up on that. But first of all, I want to make sure that you're feeling back normal, like physically and mentally. So I don't want to overwhelm you.
Yes, well, as normal as I can be, I suppose. And yes, the doctor appears to be in good spirits, maybe a little bit worn, but he does ultimately not seem like injured or anything like that. And his psychosis is like already a crazy scientist, so he's didn't have far to like be pushed over the edge. He's kind of just the same old crazy kook that he always was, which is good. But yeah, Z will lead you guys to the general store if everybody is. Oh, good.
Yeah, Michael, was there something else? I feel like I cut you off there a little bit. Was there something else you wanted to do with Z in your like kind of insight?
No, I didn't have anything specific, and I kind of want to just use a mechanism to see what happens.
Okay. Sorry.
No, all good. Yeah, so if you guys are all making your way to the general store, Z will lead you through the town, which now seems for the most part empty. It looks like any of the originals or any of the silk handkerchiefs who had, been looting and plundering have since finished that looting and plundering and are now safely at their old homes and their old abodes here in Windgap. You would also see, as you guys are walking through town, Mindle is sort of like snuggling up and putting their wing around a very large looking wolf who has like an eye patch on, and like he has like a what do you call it, like a hook for a hand, and the two of them are kind of like swooning together, and then like meandering back to one of the domiciles that's there. I believe on the last episode we saw a guy moving into Ursa's tower, so you guys would see him kind of making his way there. But the general store is kind of on the other side of town. I'm sorry, Bex, did you have something?
Do we see Neo?
You guys don't see Neo. It appears that Neo has gone into one of the homes there. You're more than welcome to ask Mindle about Neo, but you don't immediately see him out there in the open now.
Nah, it's more of an opportunity thing.
Is Neo where to be seen?
No flashing stickers in the wind. No, so you guys go into the general store, which some of you have been into before. It appears to be boarded up. Has not been in use for a very long time, but upon entering, it's a pretty normal, warm, like almost like more of a home than a store, but there are several items lining the shelves, and it seems relatively comfortable, although fairly dusty. And Z will just kind of go in and plop down on a chair that's sitting in the corner. Feel free to make yourselves at home. There's an upstairs part if people need a good place to rest. I myself think I need quite a few hours, but you feel free to come and go as you please. I'll leave the door unlocked.
Thanks, Z.
Before people go, as people are going in, I kind of just want to hang back and go in last. I just want to take a few moments to dismantle the arm. I don't know if I need to roll for that or not.
No, I don't think so. I think just taking your time with it. I don't think it would be too difficult to get that done. Yeah, you are able to take it apart and make sure that there are no use cases that would be negative for it, but all the good positive use cases for yourself.
Awesome. Yeah. So I just then enter and I hang on the back wall and I'm really just observing and licking my wounds.
Yeah. What does everybody else want to do? Are there people that you guys want to visit? I will give you just a little rundown of some of the locations here. Give me one sec. So we have Ursa's Tower, the Fawn Shop, which is like the pawn shop where Bam Bam worked. General Dentistry, the Barracks, the General Store, which is where you guys are now. There is the Movers Quarter, the Ruins Entrance, where you guys first entered, the Hucklebee Mining Camp, and there are 2 residential districts, the North and South residential districts. And then in terms of like NPCs that would be here that you guys already know of to interact with, there's Mindle, there's Ursa, Guy, Bormolo, Artemis, Neo, Dr. Weemspley, Z, and then some of you know of the Hucklebees already. And then if people want to talk to Bam Bam, you guys can, of course, roll for that as well. So just a quick overview of sort of the relevant folks in the area.
I would want to go with Dr. Weemspley to see Ursa. Yeah. And also eventually talk to Z, but he's probably going to sleep, so.
Yeah, you see that Z is like already conked out on his chair. He's like reclined in a lazy boy, just out. You know, he is exhausted. Yeah, just snoozing along like a good old big hedgehog.
So
Yeah,
is the general store Z's store and Z's home? Is this Z's space?
yeah. It's all basically Z's. Like he owns the general store. He has like his bedroom and stuff upstairs. It's not large, but it's big enough for you guys to find like cushions and pillows and things of that nature to like lay on the floor and get a decent night's sleep there.
What do I see in terms of like like provisions that he's got available?
Yeah, so he has a number of different items that are in there. You see like a big wooden paddle that Sanvi you would actually recognize. There's like some river folk inscriptions written on there. Cal, you would see that there are some explosives on one of the shelves. And then there's also a few different like garments and robes, different like general good items as well. So provisions in terms of like, you know, quick snacks like nuts in a bag. He's got like different things that he can just kind of grab and go. And it seems like most of the things here are made for utility as opposed to, you know, any kind of, you know, frivolous nature. Yeah, Bex.
Can I take some of the sort of to-go bits of food? And also, if possible, and I will roll for it if you want me to, just some painkillers or anything, because obviously Rebecca is injured, but I do want to get her right out and about. So, but I don't like doing it against sort of logic.
No, I don't think you even need to roll for it here. I mean, this is like Z is like it's almost like this store is run by like a doomsday prepper. So you definitely find like a bag that has a number of different provisions in it that you can munch along the way. Some like quick acting painkillers and a few different like bandages and other materials that at least for the time being would be able to like stymie up the wounds.
I'll start eating one of them because we haven't eaten in a while and rabbits have a very big appetite. And just with it mix some of the painkillers, and I think I might be going with Philo to see Ursa.
Yeah,
because she seems to be the one with the best vantage point. So
she does have a good vantage point.
She might have all the info.
Yes. So is everybody going to see Ursa? I know Red, Dr. Weemspley, Bex, Theo, Sanvi.
Unless I get distracted along the way.
Okay. Sanvi, Cal, did you guys have other stuff that you wanted to do, or do you guys want to go see Ursa as well?
I was going to say that Cal probably won't go to see Ursa. She's not really massively concerned with who Ursa is or like, you know, what they're about. She'll probably like find a corner in the general store that she can just like, you know, silently just start working on tinkering and things, and that she's like got no interest in kind of engaging at the moment.
Cal just taking absolutely no breaks, just immediately finishes a war and just goes straight to tinkering. You guys see Cal like unloading her toolbox in the corner across from Z, making quite a bit of noise, but Z does not seem bothered at all by it. Sanvi, what would you like to be doing?
While Cal is tinkering away in the corner, can Sanvi grab a bunch of like soft cushions and blankets and stuff and just make like a huge comfy spot, enough for all of us to sit in and just like grab different snacks off the shelves. I would like her to look for a new midnight blue cloak too.
Oh, that's so
And
beautiful.
as
Sanvi
she
just setting up a slumber party.
I love her.
She's
as
the
she
best.
throws a cloak around her and sits down in the circle and starts to look around to invite everyone to come sit, she notices that everyone's just kind of like starting to meander to already leave already. She's like, wait, you guys, where are we going somewhere?
You guys are
Well-
still in the room here.
To see Ursa. We think she might have some info for us. You can come with. You can stay here and keep Cal company. We'll be coming back.
But we just got here. What's so special about this Ursa now? What's going on?
Well, I just want to go with Dr. Weemsley. I mean, every once in a while I'd get to go with him to visit her and see if she had any gadgets or gizmos. And, well, I guess seeing Dr. Weemsley again, I guess I'm just feeling a little nostalgic.
Oh, you said she's in a tower? Do you think she saw the battle? Do you think she might have seen where Duncan went?
I kind of knocked out one of her windows with a ballista at the beginning.
How?
What?
Was a bad shot.
That sounds like a great shot. Well done.
Wasn't what I was targeting.
Yeah, points for style.
I'll take it. Thank you, Rebecca.
Sanvi, you can come with us or you can stay here. I'll stay with you if you want.
I want to go ask her and see if she saw which direction this Castus chirp went with Duncan. If there's any sort of clue that I can follow, maybe this Ursa with her tower can give me some answers.
Can somebody just clearly tell me exactly what we know? What happens? I showed up, y'all were bleeding, Duncan was gone, you said he was napped.
I think we all might have different stories.
Seems like a good time to sort that out.
Sambi's gonna shoot eyes at Red. Do you want to start first? What happened to my best friend?
Well, honestly, Thelo's explanation is kind of accurate. Like, Duncan and I were going to find Z, and then we stumbled into a room where there were wolves, I think, dressed up as dental assistants or something like that. And they had syringes and they were attacking Bex, and it was all very confusing. And then all of a sudden, Castus Chirp burst in out of nowhere. And I mean, I thought we were saved, that he was going to help us, but then he just stole Duncan.
Like he put him in his pocket?
I mean, he like knocked him out and picked him up and went.
Did he say anything?
I think he said something about cats and quarry or something like that. I don't know. Rebecca, do you remember?
I remember everything a little differently. You went into the tower, I followed, and we were just opening doors. And then you said something about having to find Z. I went into this one room and Ephraim was there. He was expecting you, but he released this purple smoke and I shut the door so it wouldn't affect you guys. I didn't know what it was. but then I couldn't get back to you guys, so I went up through a hatch in the roof, and there were all these horrible screams from these people in cages, and it was so scary. And then I just kept going up, which because I didn't know where everyone was, and then I found this room with these wolves, and they had this yellow stuff. And then Duncan came in and told me that he was looking for me and that everyone else had already gone back outside. And then after that, it was mostly just dodging syringe needles until this other badger came. And I really don't really remember if he said anything. I've been stabbed, and at that point, I wasn't really concentrating. I thought everything was going to be okay because Duncan showed up. And then when he didn't, we went up further and you found the hedgehog guy, and I went back to the scary place to talk to the creepy people. And that's all I really remember.
Both of you guys give me a roll with cunning, because Castus did say a few things, but let's see if you guys remember it after the heat of battle here.
I did not roll well.
Bex, you would also remember that Castus, and I don't know if you're holding this intentionally, but you would also remember that Castus's face changed from
I
like
do remember that
older
last
to
night.
younger.
So we did that for the audience last episode. I do remember it, and I am willfully holding that information back.
Just making sure.
I also rolled a 6 and have no modifiers. So
I rolled a 5.
Hey!
Yeah, neither of you, you're both scrambling to recall what Castus said to you, but it's been a long ass day.
I do remember that Duncan kind of went a bit crazy. Did you see that, Red?
Yeah, for a second, but I thought that was just one of the dentists trying to get him with that yellow stuff.
Yeah, this yellow stuff. And she pulls out 2 loaded vials. I don't whether they're in syringes or not, I can't remember. And it's just looks at them and kind of tinks them together. They stuck this in his neck, and one of his eyes turned like Ephraim.
Yeah, it was unpleasant.
She shakes him a little bit. Do you think we can use him?
Thelonious takes 3 steps back.
I mean, there's can and there's should.
They make a nice sloshing noise.
Let's keep them somewhere very safe.
Okay, she tucks them back into her waistcoat. That's safe.
Is Weemsley still with us?
Yeah, Weemsley is still with you guys.
I just want to, like, Weemsley, you know anything about that?
Yes, that would be I don't know what the marquee term is for it, but essentially it's froth or fluid. If you were to ingest that or inject it into yourself or someone else, they would more than likely become feral. It may take some time, but yes, it's a technology that Ephraim was working very hard on. I do hope that you've removed Ephraim from the dentistry, yes?
I never saw Wolf.
That's me again. Sorry, guys. Yeah, when Red found Z, I found Ephraim. We walked off somewhere. We might have left him in there.
Yeah, he was coming after me. I found Z. He almost came into the room, but I closed the door in his face, and then I don't know where he went.
Colin, did I interact with him or did I hallucinate that? Because I swear after the door shut, I
don't think anybody interacted with him after the door shut. He went to go like find a key, and then everybody sort of went like zooming up the staircase and to the right, and so you guys all like exited before anybody even saw Ephraim coming back. So you guys haven't seen Ephraim. I think Red would probably be the last one. Red and Z would be the last to have seen him.
So I have hallucinated half an episode. Okay.
This is your colleague, Weemsley. Why are you so concerned?
What do you mean?
Your science bros. Making
Ephraim?
yellow stuff.
Ephraim is not a science bro, at least of mine. His science was more on the chemical alteration and biologicals. I myself focus more on the cybernetic and things that have electrical currents that run through them. Anything clockwork and mechanic. That's really what gets me going. But yes, the biological things, not so much for me. It's a bit too close to changing the dynamic of a person. I don't necessarily believe that that's a good thing, even if it is for science.
So you turn folks into robots, and he turns folks into twisted zombies and puts them in cages.
I don't turn anyone into anything. I create clockwork designs. They were never meant to be used as anything attached to a person. Red's pistol is a good example. It was meant to be a tool, something to use to hunt or to better yourself in some way. At least that's the way that I always viewed science. Perhaps my perception has been skewed over the last few weeks. Again, I apologize. I did not mean to offend.
All of this in a few weeks.
I have been working on clockwork experimentation for quite some time. The fluids that you hold there, as well as the purple fluids, those had been worked on for a number of years prior to me even coming to Windgap to work.
I just pull out the assembled arm and drop it right on his feet. One of yours?
No, not one of mine. He like picks it up and starts examining it, and like he pulls out like different tools and things, and starts to like go to like get in there. Do you let him like start opening it up?
He's outnumbered, yeah.
Yeah. So he like starts opening it up. And he's like, fascinating. Yes, I've not one of mine. I must say, it's impressive work. This appears to be some kind of gadgetry that I myself might have to take some time to dissect. It seems it uses a similar power core to Red's pistol or other clockworks, but this has a distinct bionic attachment to it, something that connects neurons to some kind of transmitter within a recipient's brain or recipient's core. Technology that I, to be quite honest with you, have not seen, at least in a long time.
Dr. Weemspley, do you know anyone who might have worked on this?
My best guess would be somebody in Underleaf. That is where most of the scientific revelations of the woodland come from. And I myself have made many sojourns to Underleaf to understand the technologies and the inner workings there. This definitely represents something of somebody from that place, but I can't say for sure if they're still there.
So of everything around us, what's got your name on it?
Yes. Well, if I suppose the a number of different clockwork mechanisms that you would find in the lab would be have my name on it, so to speak. I also created the blueprints and a number of different sketches for some of the things like Chunk's gauntlets. Again, they don't attach to you as a person. They're meant merely to be something to hold on to, an attachment. Nothing that would be connected to a person would be associated with myself. Mostly just different clockwork gadgets. In fact, Ursa's tower, the magnifying glass that spins and the scope that can move 360 degrees, that's all clockwork gadgetry that she and I came up with together.
Why?
For science!
So the Marquise, roll up into your neighborhood. Take over your town. and you build them enhancing weapons because I like to tinker.
Well, it's not exactly that simple. Windgap Refuge was not always a place of profit and a place where people were happy all the time. Yes, the Marquis did come in, and we were happy and fine and doing things as you might expect, but the resources that were available were limited. I myself had trouble getting our technological advances, such as Red's pistol, off the ground. Took many weeks. But with the Marquis coming in, they made many promises as to things that we could do. And admittedly, a bit selfishly, I did let my aspirations take control. And yes, for a time, I was maybe perhaps not the greatest. But I didn't do so with the intention of hurting people. I truly just love science. I let my passions get in the way, I will admit.
Have you seen the folks in the cells in the dentistry? Have you seen their faces? Have you seen their eyes?
I have not been out of that lab for many, many, many weeks.
Those people, that's what Ephraim does. That's not what Dr. Weemsley did. He wouldn't do that. He doesn't want to hurt people. What are you going to do now, Dr. Weemsley?
I don't know. Perhaps I will go to Underleaf and try and right the wrongs that I have done. Perhaps that is the best course of action. For justice? Maybe I have a new catchphrase.
Can I make a
Underleaf.
suggestion?
Yes, please.
There are people right here who were injured. If you're righting wrongs.
Of course. And you can see, like, he looks like very, very sad. Like, anytime Theo is like insulting him about that, like, he's not coming across as somebody who, like, he feels remorse for those actions, and he recognizes, like, yeah, I let things get a bit out of control, and then at some point it started to control me, right? He didn't, once those IVs were hooked in, that's not Dr. Weemsley anymore. That's whatever that experimentation has become. But yes, he did lead himself to that point, is essentially what he's saying.
I approach him for a hug.
Yeah, absolutely. You hug him and he kind of shudders at first. Like, he hasn't had a lot of human contact, I think, probably in his whole life, but specifically
None of us have had any human contact.
Ayo!
Yeah, we're woodland creatures.
Create a soft moment and then ruin it. Yeah, it's just like he needs a pat on the back. He needs to know that it's okay.
You feel like he shudders at first, and then you just feel like a very heavy weight as he kind of sinks into your rabbit fur, and you can just feel him like snuggling in and just happy to have some kind of connection.
This is all good, buddy. Right, I guess Ursa?
Yes, to Ursus.
One more question, Doctor. You mentioned Underleaf. The first conversation I had with Castus Chirp, he mentioned the super awesome reed he got for his instrument he obtained in Underleaf. Do you know about any sort of reed, or would you happen to have invented one yourself?
No, I can't say that I have, but not surprising that that's where you would find it. Underleaf is it's a wide capital for the Marquis, and frankly, most of the innovations in the woodland come from there, whether that be an instrumentation or a clockwork gadget or something of a biological nature. You could probably find it in Underleaf. It's a mecca. But I apologize, I can't say I specifically know of the reed you're talking about.
It's okay. This helps. Thank you.
Of course. And are you guys all making your way to Ursus? Cool.
I just wave bye to Cal. Don't wander off.
As everybody's leaving, I want to speak with Cal real quick, like once most people are out of the doors, unless anyone else is gonna hang back.
I'm gonna bring the clockwork arm that Weemsley was looking at. I don't know if you can use this for something. It's trash to me.
To Cal.
Yeah.
She'll-
Giving
like
products to tinkerer.
she's not really looking at anybody per se and stuff in that, but like she'll kind of just say like, well, like she's just very intently like fixated on this like tiny piece of metal and just like, you know, using a small screwdriver to go with the little details. But when Taylor brings the arm over, she'll just be like, just set it down there, I'll look at it after.
Cal, I'm gonna catch up with the rest of the group later, but I wanted to tell you that what Bam Bam took, it was the blueprints for my clockwork pistol. And I'm wondering if you would be able to figure out a way to destroy clockwork pistols like mine very quickly and efficiently, because I don't know where she's bringing it, and well, I let her go because I figure we would have a chance to come up with a countermeasure if we knew what they were working with. So do you think you could figure out a way to destroy clockwork pistols quickly?
Why do you want it destroyed?
Well, I don't want mine destroyed, but if there were to be a lot of them in the woodland, I just worry that that could be very dangerous for denizens all over the place.
And you gave her the blueprint for it.
Yeah.
The very thing you need to make more of them, you've let it out of your sight and given it to somebody.
Yeah. But I mean,
What
I
are you
had
expecting
to.
to happen? Do
Well,
you think about anything you're doing?
I don't know. She helped us, so I felt like I couldn't say no, but
You
I
have
also
tunnel
thought,
vision on what you want, and you aren't considering the bigger picture.
yeah,
You were so fixated on finding Dr. Weemsby that you weren't considering the needs of the party. I'm assuming you want us to work as a team because you need us to work as a team, but you do not know how to work as a team.
yeah, I
So
know.
before you ask us to help you fulfill your requirements, maybe think about what everybody else needs. I'll consider how to destroy the guns, but I'm not making you any promises. Not right now. And then
Okay.
she'll just look down at what she's doing again.
Thanks, Cal. I appreciate it, and I know I also deserve it. That I'm not good at working as
I'm
part of a
done
team.
talking right now.
Okay. And Red just walks away.
Damn. Cold cow. That was awesome, you guys.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
about what
yeah.
I expected.
I'm so sorry.
No, that was perfect. I loved it.
Incredible, guys. Incredible.
Dude, your face the whole
Literally
time was just like
hurt.
frozen light.
I've got
I was-
heartburn from doing
I
that. I was-
couldn't help. Honestly, I think I stopped breathing when you're like, I'm done talking. I went,
yeah, no, I've got like a heartburn. I hate confrontations. That's like really you're going against just me. So I was just there like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to myself and to
No, that was
everybody?
awesome.
Ow.
That was so good.
oh,
That was
the
perfect.
character
It was
Brilliant.
waiting. It was waiting.
Amazing.
It had to come out.
So all of you guys, with the exception of Cal and Z, make your way to Ursa's tower. You find that the door is unlocked there, and you move up a set of not necessarily opulent staircase, but it's grandiose. Everything is very, very largely done. So this set of stairs is like all of you can walk in a straight line up it. It's that wide. It's not necessarily, gilded or beautifully done. It's just a pure white marbling, but it is grand. And you guys move up this winding staircase to eventually find yourselves in sort of like an observatory area with a large pair of goggles in the very center of the room. Yes, those the stairs are circa 1864. They were crafted by Hans Grabenheimer, very, very famous hedgehog craftsman of his day. Yeah, so big history lesson there with Ursus
His
Tower.
name was my name.
Name too.
I forgot you read the chat now.
No, you guys see a large pair of goggles in the very center of the room, as well as a number of different windows that are outlining a couple of different tables and chairs. And the only two individuals that are there, you see a grumpy old-looking cat who is perched with her cane just next to the goggles. And you see a very familiar Mr. Guy Coe, who has his eyeballs attached to the goggles and is just going that's what you guys see when you walk in. Neither of them looks up to greet you or say hello or anything of the sort.
What is in the room?
So there's the pair of goggles in the very center of the room. And then there are just like a number of tables that are lining like all of the walls, which are all windowed. And you can see like a number of different like sketches and drawings and like astrological charts, different like scientific things that you would think of that somebody looking and studying the stars would have out.
Hands in my pocket, I'm just sort of casing the room, looking out the windows on the tables.
Yeah, give me a roll of cunning.
This is also my behavior as interactions start. Eights.
Yeah, on an 8, you don't necessarily see anything in the room that catches your eye or piques your interest. You do, looking out the window, see like a very small black figure that is moving across the top of the mountains, that is like right where general dentistry is. You can see like a little figure that is moving this way and then going out. You can't make out like what species or anything that it is, but you do see a little figure that's moving around.
I keep my eye hard on it until I don't see it anymore, and I mark the track.
Yeah, absolutely. Bex?
I would also like to look around the room. A little bit more to the windows because cats in the room. There's more of them. Yay. May I also roll to see if I see this creature?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a roll of cunning.
Can I use my do I have to see it before I can then use my spyglass?
I think your spyglass, you can just mark where to take a 12 on it, I believe is what your spyglass does.
In which case, yeah, I'd like to use my spyglass.
Yeah, so Bex, you pull out your spyglass, and on through the magnifying lens of it, you can see that there is a wolf with some yellow eyes that is moving precariously across the ridge line there, just on top of the mountains, and kind of moving into the distance and getting smaller.
Would I know what direction he is headed? Like what would be in his path?
Yeah, so he is apparently heading north. So like I can send you guys the map again, but it would actually be, he would be heading towards like closer to where you're from. So you're from a place to the north. So he would be heading in that direction.
Okay.
Your home is quite a good distance from here, but it is in that direction.
Yeah. Okay.
Would I recognize her spyglass in any way, not in terms of like its special abilities, but like would I recognize a spyglass in general?
Yeah, I think you'd recognize it as a spyglass, but I don't think there's any like significant markings or anything to denote.
Right, but I recognize a telescope is a telescope, and she's enhancing her vision.
Yes, yeah. It would be like a commonplace item. Maybe not
also,
commonplace.
Shout out to Colin for homebrewing this for me, because I had an idea like I want to be able to see stuff, and he's just like, "Well, here you go."
I think there is a spyglass in the game. It just doesn't do what our spyglass does.
No.
So don't at me, people, if you're using the
So
dice
I
rules.
just kind of gently, kind of just sit. What do you see, Ears?
I don't know, Whiskers. Something walking north.
I just keep looking out.
She moves away. You got your compliment earlier, but that's all you're getting from her now. She was nice once. That's it for the next 24 hours.
Bex has reached her threshold.
She really doesn't like cats, dude. She's a rabbit.
No, it makes sense in character. What are the rest of you guys doing? As Bex and Thelonious are sort of like circling the windows here, you guys see that Ursa looks up, sees you all, and just goes back to whatever she's doing and does not care in the slightest that you are here. Red, Sanvi, what do you guys want to do?
Can Sanvi make a beeline for Guy in the middle? And as he's looking through the binoculars, she's just gonna shake him in place. Guy, did you see Duncan? What have you seen? Tell me everything you've seen.
You see Guy does the similar wacky inflatable arm man that he always does with his whole body. Just
Ah! Hey, Sandy. Oh, holy moly. That was a heck of a fight. What'd you say about Duncan?
Duncan's missing. Have you seen him leave Windgap?
you see Guy get like the scariest look. Like he is a very happy, doe-eyed gecko. When you say Duncan is missing, he gets like his eyes become slits and he is like fiercely angry for like a half a second, and then goes back to his doe-eyed nature.
Duncan's missing? We're gonna find him. Ursa, tell me everything you saw during the battle. This is important.
And you see the grumpy old cat sort of looks up and goes, "Okay, Guy. Well, I saw," and like starts telling this long story as Guy is like trying to get her to speed up and talk faster. But eventually Ursa gets to the point that like, yes, I've been looking in my tower this entire time, and I did see a group of badgers moving to the north as well. So almost in that same spot, Bex, that you saw the wolf figure moving there. That is the same direction that Castus and his merry band were taking Duncan. So to the north.
Seems like they went north. I think Sunday was up there. There's a couple other places. Black Paws Wall. Let's see, Open Sky Haven. A couple different clearings. Iron Veins up there too. So, it could be any of those. Could be none of them.
I just want Duncan back.
Guy puts a slimy little gecko paw on your shoulder.
I do too. I hope he's safe. I'm sure he is. Duncan's strong, and he's my best friend.
He's my best friend too.
You guys all watch as this otter and this gecko just absolutely bawl in the middle of this room here with the binoculars right next to him and a grumpy old cat. Red, what would you like to be doing?
I'm kind of just taking it all in, and presumably, is Dr. Weemsley with us?
Yeah, Dr. Weemsley is with you. He's like kind of walking around and like shuffling through papers and just like going through different things. Ursa, when she sees him step into the room, sort of waves at him, and he gives her like a familiar nod because they each know each other. And so he just begins like looking through papers and looking at like sort of the astrological arrangements that Ursa has been coming up with.
Okay, I'll just be helping him look through those and just kind of there along for the ride with everyone.
Yeah, as you guys are looking through him, he looks at you. Red, have you ever looked through the goggles? Ursa's goggles?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, come, come. And he will walk you over to where you see Sanvi and Guy crying their eyes out. And the now unoccupied goggles that rest there. They look like they link to a number of different like mirrored tubes that rise up into the ceiling. And Dr. Winsby is like, please, take a look. Step up.
Okay.
As you look in there, you can see like the entirety of Windgap Refuge. You see everything through Ursa's tower, through this giant magnifying lens. And as you kind of even just shift your body weight, you can feel and see that the entire vision changes as the tower itself, you feel rumbles, and the gears begin to shift, and the entire platform that you guys are standing on starts to turn as Red's body weight shifts to one way or the other.
Whoa! I thought this was gonna be the stars, but this is all of Windgap Refuge.
Yes, well, you can of course use it to see the stars as well, but during the day, it's mostly just used to, keep an eye on Windgap. Ursa has actually been one of the protectors here in Windgap for quite some time, allowing us to know when intruders are going to be around. Unfortunately, the Marquis were a bit more stealthy in their influence, but yes, Ursa has been here for a long time.
Oh. Ursa, did you see when that mechanical clockwork cat arrived?
I didn't see it arrive, but it came about maybe a few months back. I saw them transporting it from the mountains all the way to the dentistry.
And she like hacks up a fur ball.
I'm so glad Cal wasn't here for this because she took every minute of it.
Okay. And I'm also wondering if you have any notes or anything, observations on what the Marquis, what Chunk and his people were up to while over the past couple of months.
Chunk is always up to no good. Mean little squirrel. He and the
Was Ursula was.
what?
I just take out the gauntlet and I try to put it on. Does it fit me?
It's a little big for you, but yeah, you can feel sort of the like power surging through it.
I'm gonna put it away.
I thought
Was-
Chunk had tiny hands.
Yeah, Chunk does have tiny hands. How big are Theo's hands?
How about
Go
your hands,
retro
Theo?
Tiny hands.
So I mean, like he's like part bobcat, so I think they got big old paws.
Oh yeah,
right?
they do have big paws. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe it's even a little bit snug then. Yeah, because Chunk's hands, I think we established were baby hands.
Like he was a giant squirrel with bitty hands.
With
Like, this
baby
is very
hands.
confusing.
Yeah.
I feel like squirrels' hands do look weirdly small for their size.
I think so too. Yeah, proportionately. Yeah.
Giant body, tiny hands, desperate need for control, horrible American accent. Do you see where I'm going?
It's massive gauntlets, and it's like, do you think he's compensating for something?
If you want to start to talk about Parliament,
All
we can
of
take a side
the
break.
above.
Everything is a yes.
I think that's our cold open.
Yeah, there you go. Move this to the front.
Ursula was talking about Chunk. I was just kind of,
No, it was incredible.
I was just kind of flaunting.
Was up to no good all the time. They were moving technologies from one place to the next, and back and forth. But I've been keeping a watch on everybody, at least from here. Tell me, are there other things you would like to know? And if anybody has any like, if you guys want to use this as the rumor phase for yourself, if you have a faction that you would like to pick, Ursa has access to most of the woodland from this position, and so could give you some pretty accurate information in terms of rumors. Just for the viewers at home, the rumor phase, the Vagabonds can all pick a faction, and they will roll with their reputation on that faction. If they do well, they will get some rumors. If they do poorly, they will still get some rumors. They just won't know if they're true or if they're false. So I know some people had previously thought of some factions that they were potentially looking to learn about. But if anybody wants to jump in and start, feel free. Yeah, Bex?
Ooh. What do you know about the Erie? And she
Yeah.
rolled a 6.
A 6? Let me look.
No, she didn't. She rolled a 7.
Okay, a 7 is still good. Let me look here. So on a 7...
Is it a straight roll or are we adding stuff?
So you would add your reputation, but you are right. You don't have any bonuses with the IRE, because that's what I was looking to see if you could add your reputation there. Ursa will look at you.
Yes, the birds. I hear they've begun construction of a new roost in Open Sky Haven after the old one was destroyed. I've also heard that all of the denizens that are under Irie influence in Fire Hollow are quite happy with their lives. The good Duchess, Peggy the Owl, still reigns there. That's all I know about the Irie, at least for now.
Thank you. And Rebecca kind of hugs a still crying Guy and Zombie.
Guy definitely hugs you back. Does anybody else have factions that they would like to use a little rumor roll on? And if not, that's
Yes.
totally fine. We can cover it later. Yeah, Zombie?
Do you know anything about the river folk?
Yes, of course.
Go ahead and give me a roll, and I believe you have a positive reputation with them. I could be wrong there too.
8.
Awesome. No positive reputation needed. Yeah, she looks at you and says,
Yes. The river folk. Funny little otters, just like you. Well, I've heard that they've almost completed the bridge. The Marquis hired them to build one from Patchwood to Fire Hollow because you can't get there by land. You've got to take a boat. And the cats don't like water, so they hired the otters to make a catwalk for them. Go from Patchwood to Fire Hollow. Looks like it's almost been completed. Won't be long now, and then they can go ahead and cross the 7 seas, or whatever they call it. I also heard that the otters have been frequent in their mercenary findings. The Irie and the Woodland Alliance and the Lizard Cult have all purchased river folk mercenaries for the war. More bloodshed. Things never change.
and that's what she will tell you about the river folk.
Thank you, Ursa. She's gonna go back to hugging Bex and Guy.
Oh. Thelonious, Red, do you guys have factions that you would want to use a rumor roll for?
So there would maybe be another chance elsewhere, or is this the okay?
No. If you guys don't want to use your room roll here, that is totally fine. We can cover it in one-on-ones. We can cover it, later and release it. I just figured like Ursa does have access to a lot of the woodland. So if people had factions they were thinking of ahead of time, be a cool piece to kind of put it in.
So is this part of
Gotcha.
like the level up mechanic, or is this part of a storyline mechanic? Like,
Yeah, so for everybody, this is part of the storyline mechanic. So anytime you guys kind of finish like, I guess what we would consider a big arc or like a big part of the story, then I roll personally behind the scenes for the rest of the woodland, because it's not a static map. Like, if you guys aren't somewhere, that doesn't mean that things aren't happening. Things are still going on. There's still a war in the background. So I make rolls for all of the different factions on my own time. And then based on those roles, I create rumors of things that have happened in the woodland. And then you guys get an opportunity to pick one faction, learn something that's happening in the woodland to potentially, drive you to a plot point or just give you
Yep.
more insight into whatever you're currently seeking. Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
So I am going to use this opportunity.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to pull out the poem that I had found before we went down the zip line that I'm pretty sure uses the phrase lemur supremacy.
I believe they use the word conspiracy in that.
Okay.
Yeah, for this is our conspiracy. Yep.
So regardless, I'm gonna pass her that. I'm just gonna be like, can you make sense of this?
She sort of flips it to the back and to the front. Ah, they were here again and I missed them. Ah, little Thimble, I'm sure, wrote this. Yes, the core of it. Conspiracy of different natures, mostly crows, but they frequent the woodland and incite chaos wherever they see fit. I actually like them. I think that they do a great job of keeping different powers in check, but everyone's got their opinions, I suppose. Well, if they've been spotted here, then they're probably also in Underleaf. I know that the last time I spoke with my dear Thimble, he told me that their plots had been foiled in Iron Vein as well as Limberley, but there were big talks of something happening in Underleaf. They definitely are targeting the Marquis, it seems. I don't know a whole lot else about them, but I suppose that'll do for now.
I take it back. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, you're an odd breed of cat. Are you part of the Marquis?
I'm really not.
Good. I hate those assholes.
And that is what she would
I give
you.
her a pat on the back.
Yeah.
I'm feeling comfortable.
Yeah, you could see that like she is not really even smiling like the entire time. She's like a grumpy old cat, but when you pat her on the back, she gives like a little like, yeah, we're homies. I got you. Yes. I would ask Cal if she wanted to do rumor face here, but Cal, you are not with the party. What is Cal doing as everybody else is kind of engaged here? And I'm sorry, did everybody get through the rumor phase that wanted to get through the rumor phase? I don't want to slight anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to do it right now. I think
Okay.
I want to eventually do the supremacy of squirrels, but I don't want to do that with everybody here. Maybe Ursa's not the one who would be able to give me the information on that.
Yeah, for
Is that
sure.
a faction? Should I put that on my faction chart?
You can absolutely put it on your faction chart, but in character, Thelonious would not know about it. The only person,
Right.
yeah,
I'm just that's my like
Yeah.
tools of the game.
Yeah, there's a handful of factions that I think only certain players know of at the moment. So yeah. Yeah, what is Cal doing back in the general store there with Z?
What is Z doing? Like, is he just kind of sleeping the whole time, or
Oh,
does he
yeah.
do anything particularly in his sleep? Does he snore? Does he talk? Does he move or anything?
Yeah, he does move quite a bit in his sleep. He is not a sound sleeper. He snores very, very loudly. And despite any amount of noise that you make, it does not seem like he is going to wake up anytime soon. He is just exhausted. Whatever trials and tribulations he's endured over the last, few weeks or so, have him pretty exhausted. So he is out like a light.
I think like when he begins snoring a lot, um the cow would just be like immediately just in her brain, she's just registered, I don't like that noise. I really don't like that noise. And she kind of will try and block it out a little bit. Like she might kind of like lean with like her shoulder pressing against one ear to try and like block it out. And if it's still there in the background, she'll just kind of huff. And then she's almost trying to make more noise to cover it. Like she's focusing on the timing, like how many seconds it is between each snore. And then she's trying to like tap something a little louder or like move something in a certain way to make a noise that will just conveniently cover the thing. But then she'll just kind of have a fixation on the snoring, and she finds it very hard to concentrate. And it'll get to a point she just kind of puts what she's doing down, and she'll start pacing back and forth, and she's just covering her ears like that, and just she's just getting very frustrated with it because she's like fixated. She really wants to just continue with what she was doing. She wants to continue the project. She wants to find ways to improve the equipment, improve her own equipment, fix what's broken, and like even look for a second maybe at like Red's blueprints, even though she really doesn't want to. But she wants to keep her mind busy, and the fact that all the little unnecessary noises that are happening are getting to her, she's finding the concentration is being thrown off, and part of her's almost wanting to have gone with them. She's like kind of regretting partly staying behind, but she also knew she didn't want to go for a reason and stuff, and now she just didn't want to. But she could really do without the noise. The noise is definitely getting to her. So
Yeah.
she's probably even like humming a little as well to try and cover it.
What is Cal working on? Are you working on the blueprints? Are you working on like personal equipment? Are you working on like party equipment? Like what are you working on?
The blueprint has been put aside, or well, not even the blueprints and stuff from that, because what was it, Emily? I don't think Red gave anything to Cal necessarily.
No, I mean I could have given you my pistol because I wouldn't be using it. But
yeah, well, if Red gave anything, like I mean, whatever the party gave Cal, it was put to one side, safe for her to look at a later point. But she was working on kind of just the usual tiny explosives that she makes, like the little acorn flashbangs and stuff, or like tiny detonators and stuff, and that remote's ready for explosives she hasn't made yet. She's following little routine designs that she makes over and over and over. But almost trying to improve them as she goes along. Like, she knows this bit goes here, she knows this bit goes here, but she's wondering, is there room to add something else? Is there a way that she can rearrange them to, change the design and make it work better? She's constantly analyzing it as she's making it.
Yeah, give me a roll with cunning.
Ooh, I like that roll. 11.
11, yeah. So you are working on your explosives, and you see on the wall there are a number of different explosives there as well. And drawing inspiration from those explosives, and maybe even getting up and like pulling a couple of the parts out of them and implementing them into your own designs. You have
just absolutely accidentally just takes out the whoops,
and Z and Cal are dead. No, but you find a number of different things that you can use, and you create Corvid explosives. So those are in the book. and we can go over what they actually do. But you were able to essentially create the same explosives that the Corvid conspiracy uses to implement their things. So
Excellent.
yes, so you can add those to your items as well. You guys have been speaking with Ursa. She has told you a number of different things. Is there anything anybody else wants to do in the room here in the astronomy tower with Ursa?
Can I steal some of her shit?
Yeah, of course. Give me a roll of finesse.
I love Bex.
She's a literal spy. okay?
Absolutely.
She's snooping. With finesse, that is 11.
Awesome. Yeah, nobody happens to see as you scoop a number of different documents into a little,
Can
Go
I
ahead.
ask what I'm looking for specifically?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I am looking for, so she's had all these rumors that she's giving us. I am looking for anything that pertains to Open Sky Haven. Did I pronounce that right? Is it Opensky or Open Sky?
Open Sky. Yep, you got it.
Open Sky. Open Sky Haven.
Yeah.
Just to see if I've got any more on this tower.
You find like a number of what appear to be like almost as if somebody had like found a note and then transcribed the note and given it to Ursa. It doesn't look like it's like an original writing, and you see a number of these different documents from other individuals, but this one in particular stands out, and it says something along the lines of like, Irie bureaucracy has finally fallen in line. We are beginning our construction in Open Sky Haven. The roost that was previously demolished is going to finally come back to fruition under Baron Skywalk's nature. We have the culprit in Fire Hollow, but we don't think that Peggy is going to do what needs to be done.
Yeah, that's going in the waistcoat. No one's getting to see that. That is for my eyes only. In fact, what I do, no, I don't put it in the waistcoat, I eat it.
Yeah, Bex,
Do I
absolutely.
see her eat it?
Yeah, give me another roll with finesse, and anybody here that wants to can give me a roll with cunning opposed. Like, this is insane. You're just eating a note.
Nope.
That's another 11. Oh, nom nom nom.
With cunning, that's a 6. I got a 4.
I have big cheek pouches, okay? It's just fucking in there.
Yeah, she's just over there doing rabbit things, chewing on
Just
paper.
doing rabbit
She's a
shit.
Rabbit.
Red, Sanvi, did you guys want to roll?
I got a 4, which is a 3 with my -1 cunning.
I got an 8.
Yeah, Bex, nobody notices.
Rebecca really takes like digesting information to a new level.
The only way to keep information to yourself
Oh my god.
is to eradicate all
inside.
other
Put it
sources
in.
of the information.
Put it in yourself.
Yeah.
I have been known to eat paper in real life for this very reason.
Hasn't anybody done that? Like as a child? Like that's
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking like sort of 16, 17. Just like half
Damn.
a sheet of A4.
Just
like,
like
no,
Times New Roman.
No,
Nothing
no,
like
no,
loose
no,
leaf.
Love me a bit
Okay,
of
no.
Comic Sans.
half a sheet of A4 is overkill. But no, when we used to
There
write
are
notes,
American TV shows who might invite
Like,
you
I'm
on.
worried about you.
when we used to write
We
notes
have
to each other in
concerns.
science class, I would then, if it was something I didn't want anyone to read because it was embarrassing, later on, I eat it.
My dog didn't eat my homework. It was Lou the whole time.
It got to
Is
the
there
point
any?
that people started paying me in sweets to eat paper for fun.
Big yikes. Is there anything anybody else wants to do in Ursa's Tower here?
Well, last thing Red wants to do, thinking back on the conversation with Cal, Red's kind of like, I should do something nice for her. So I'll go up to Ursa and ask, Ursa, have you seen a family of deer come through the clearing anytime in the last couple of months?
I will say, have either you or Cal just give me a straight 2d6, no addeds.
Should we rock, paper, scissors for it?
You can roll it.
Up to you guys.
Yeah? Okay. 2d6, yeah?
Yeah.
Aw, Red, that's so nice.
That is nice. My fault, that heart. 5.
She looks at you and just says, like, yes, I've seen many deer come through. 10s and 20s, groupings of 3s and 4s. The numbers, they never add up right.
Oh. Okay. Do they ever go off in the same direction? Or are they just kind of always coming and going?
Come from one place, leave to another, or back and forth. Wherever you are is where you'll be. That's what they say.
Okay. Thanks, Ursa.
Of course.
Beautiful.
Very welcome.
dear. Oh,
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
beautiful.
All right, so we've gotten like a bird's eye recap on everything that we didn't see, including Duncan. We got our whispers. Did we get anything about like that mountain road? Was that a piece of conversation that was had with Ursa?
About what?
I saw the dots. Somebody else saw nothing. Nothing, right? So I saw dots. Was there a conversation? I know I didn't have a conversation, but was there a conversation?
I don't believe so. I think Rebecca pulled out the spyglass and looked.
So
is that what you're talking about?
No, a conversation with Ursa about that area.
Oh, I do not think that has happened. No.
So I don't have enough interest to ask beyond what's over there. And I kind of point out that exact area that I saw a dot moving.
Yes, that area is to the north. That'll take you to Sundale if you go far enough. The mole people, what do you call them? The duchy. The grand ways. Silly little nocturnal beings. Anyhow, yes, if you go north, you'll find Sundale. And if you go even further north, you'll find Open Sky Haven. If you go north and then to the west, you'll find Iron Vein as well as Black Paw's Wall. And that's about it. The further north you go, the deeper into Badger territory you get, and you don't want to go that far.
Why not?
The Keepers in Iron have controlled that portion of not the woodland, it's their own personal little haven up there. Wouldn't quite call it that. Lord of the Hundreds, as well as a few others, occupy the territory. But for the most part, the Keepers keep their reign. It's far north. Farther north than you'll ever need to be.
Thank you.
Yes. Do any of you have other questions? I'm more than happy to inspire the youths. No? Well, then get out. Be on your way. Guy and I have important work to do. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Also, would you mind if I just walk my friends out? I'd like to say goodbye to them.
Yes. Hurry.
Okay.
And Guy will, kind of grab you guys around the arms and walk you down the spiraling staircases. And as you reach the bottom, he'll look at you all.
It was really nice to meet you all. I'm going to try to find Duncan in whatever way I can. Is there a way I can get in touch with you if I find anything out? I'll keep an eye on the telescope with Ursa. I can send word by message if I know where y'all are gonna be.
In the short term, I think you might be able to find us at the general store. But we'll check in with you again before we leave this clearing.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? Thilo, did you have any other thoughts?
Nope. I was going in the same direction.
Okay, yeah, let's do that then.
Perfect. Yeah, if you guys decide on the direction that you're headed, just let me know. And yeah, keep an eye out and make sure to send word to the town as soon as I see something. I really hope Duncan's okay, and I'm sorry I can't go with you all, but somebody's got to stay here.
And he like pulls out both of the swords that are from the Marquis Regiment.
And protect the town. Ursa's got the eyes, but I've got the brute strength.
I just get down eye to eye with him with a big cat smile. All the teeth. Like, buddy, we can't do this without you. Just pat him on the head and I back off.
He has like a little bit of like the glassy eyed moment, looks at you all.
It's really been fun. And I gotta go back to the stars. They're waiting for me.
Bye, Guy. I'm gonna miss you.
I follow him a little bit away from the others and give him a hug and say, You're absolutely right. We need someone here to protect Windgap, otherwise we'll have done all of this for nothing. And I go to kiss him on the cheek. And then I also say, if you can't find any other way of finding us, find Bam Bam. She works at the fawn shop. That she owns it. Find Bam Bam. Tell her to tell Elmer that I need to come back. And then I'll come find you.
Who's Elmer? What?
You just remember, Bam Bam can get a message to Elmer, and I will come back for you. And she kisses him on the cheek and hops off.
You see him like repeating it in his head as he walks up the stairs.
Bam Bam to Elmer. Bam Bam to Elmer. Okay.
Awesome. That is a super cool little play there. Awesome. Yeah. So you guys exit the I love Guy. You guys exit the tower there. It is a bright, beautiful, sunny afternoon. The sun is shining up in the sky. You guys are welcome to do whatever you'd like. Cal is back at Cal is back at the general store. PTSD kicking
going
in.
Dentist again.
Cal is at the general store with Z, who is still at this point napping, but you guys are free to do whatever you would like. If you guys want to have asides, if you guys want to go back to the general store, whatever you want to do.
Would Red's parents be in like the residential area?
Yeah.
Okay.
The north residential, you would know that your parents are there.
Gotcha. I'll catch up with you all later. I think I should probably go check in on some people that I know here in the clearing, and I'd like to go and talk to them.
Yeah. Does anybody want to make a cunning check to figure Red out as she says this, or are you guys just like, yeah, no, that makes sense?
Yeah, screw it. I'm keeping my eye on her.
I think it would definitely make sense for some of your characters to be like, hold
I only rolled a
11.
7.
You roll a 7. Theo, what did you get?
11.
Oh, damn. Red, do you want to roll either cunning or luck to try and get out of it?
Sure. I'll do luck, of course. Nope, that's not gonna do it. That is a oh, actually no, maybe that does. I forget I have a +2 to luck. 7.
A 7. So
not gonna get out of the 11.
No. And Bex, what did you get? 7?
I have a 4 + 3 is
7. Okay. So Bex, I don't think you would necessarily know. You just seems a bit out of character for her, but nothing out of.
Does it feel like she's going off to find someone she knows, or is she just straight out telling us a lie?
To you, it seems like she is being truthful. Like, yeah, she probably is. Like, she's from this clearing. She's told that to all of you. You all know, like, she had the lab here. Like, it would make sense, right? So to you, it's like, yeah, no, that totally makes sense. To Theo, it's like there's something in Red's voice that isn't quite totally confident and normal, and there's maybe not a lie in there so much as a lie of omission, where she's saying, yeah, I'm going to see somebody I know, as opposed to saying who that somebody is that she knows. That's the part that seems odd to you. Other than that, I won't say anything else.
Yeah, no, I mean that honestly seemed odd to me, like actually too. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Red says that. Does anybody say anything else in reaction to that? No? Okay. Yeah, you guys see Red take off in one direction. Where is everybody else heading?
Is it daylight?
It is daylight.
I just marked where I just marked the direction that she's going and track until she's out of eye.
You say you're tracking her?
Marking and track, like visually tracking
Oh,
until
okay,
she's
okay,
out of my eye.
Okay, I see.
Right, it's daylight. I can't track her.
You can try. What is everybody else doing? Theo, you have certainly marked where Red is going. Cal, what are you up to in the general store there? You've just crafted some beautiful new explosives. You see Z is sort of tossing and turning about, and sort of grumbling to himself as he snores. Like first I won't come back, and then you go into with Red. Kind of blow it up.
Is in the general store, is there like doors to like another room, or like
Yeah, there's a set of stairs that lead up into what looks like more of the like sleeping quarters, and like probably where Z spends most of his time, post having the store open. So there's like dresser drawers with different articles of clothing in there. You see a number of different weapons on the wall, like on a rack. There's like a very large mace, a very large like halberd, and then there's like two great swords that cross each other, that like are right above where his big bed is.
I feel like at this point Cal's just looking for like the quietest place that she can possibly get to, or like in other words, as far away from Z as she possibly can get to, because like the noise is just really grating her. So if that's like upstairs, or if that's like just sat on the stairwell outside, like until the snoring is quiet, like she will just basically just try and distance herself from it as much as possible, because it's really irritating her.
Yeah, you move up the stairs, you sit on the bed for a little bit and try and tinker with your tools, but you can still hear Z's very loud murmuring to himself. And eventually you do find yourself moving outside, and sort of like sitting, maybe 10 or 15 feet away, just on like a grassy area, where there's not been any bloodshed or anything crazy that's happened, and just begin to tinker right there. You do see the rest of your group as they're sort of exiting out of Ursa's tower as well.
I think if she's like sat out on the grassy bit for a while, like when the noise eventually does stop, she's almost like rocking back and forth tiny a bit, like just to self-soothe. And like there's still like she's still doing like the slight humming and like the tapping. But then when she sees the group, it kind of reminds her of like who isn't there, whether it's a family or a Sapien. It kind of goes back and forth between the two. And she's just like muttering to herself in that like, you used to help with this. You used to help with this. What do I do? And just, back like over and over to herself, and that she's just repeating that and then like humming.
Oh. Yeah. Cal is just kind of quietly, nobody sees it, nobody, is witness to Cal doing that. But we as the viewers do see, Cal kind of quietly sitting to herself and murmuring. What would the rest of you guys like to do as you exit Ursa's tower? I will say you do see Cal sort of sitting, but it just looks like she's tinkering. Doesn't appear to be anything like going on with her, but she is tinkering about as Red is scampering away in the other direction. Bex, Theo, Sanvi, what do you guys want to do?
Anybody got any plans?
I was about to ask you both the same.
I've only been here a couple of times. I only really came here on work, so not seen about much. We can always go back for a nap or explore a little bit, see if we can make any mischief.
I'm in a mischief mood.
Yeah. See though?
Yeah, that sounds fun. There's something else I want to check on. Y'all go on.
Is this an alone thing or a group thing?
Just need to check on something. It's fine. Y'all go. Maybe
Okay.
I'll catch up.
Come find us when you're done. I hope it goes well.
And if anything catches
you.
on fire, it's not us.
No, it's just me.
I love that.
Too good. Okay. So yeah, Bex and Sanvi, you guys head off in one direction. Thelonious, you head off in the other. Let's move to Red now. Red, you move through a familiar residential quarter on the northern side of the district here, and you come to a house that you would recognize as your mom and dad's and as your home growing up. What do you do?
Oh boy, as I'm walking up, I'm kind of nervous. I just go up and knock on the door kind of timidly. Hello?
Yeah, the door opens and you see your father. Hello.
Hi. Yeah, hi.
Red.
Yeah.
He just wraps you in a huge hug. You can feel his like warm squirrel embrace, and he's just like softly sort of tearing up, holding on to you, and then he sort of pulls back and holds you by the shoulders. You look so different. Oh, where have you been?
I've been good. Um, I've not been totally alone. I've been out on the road for a little while and met up with some other people. So I've been safe. I've been good, and yeah. How are you? How have things been here since I left?
He takes one look at you, and you guys still have not rested yet. So he takes one look at you and sees like all of the cuts and the bleeding, the like exhausted like facial expression that you have, the bags under the eyes, and he just like basically pulls you into the house, and he's just like, things have been okay. You don't look so good, Red. Why don't you take a seat? Here.
Oh, I'm just more tired than anything. I'm okay.
Right. I heard the goings on out there. I just I didn't think it was fit for myself to partake. But how are you? I don't even know where to start. Your mother's she's not here at the moment, at the very least.
Oh, where is she?
She's out on a work trip. She's gone off to Ice Trap, just making her way. Somebody's got to move the coin.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, I don't really know how to bring this up, but I was talking to Bam Bam recently, and well, she said that you guys don't actually work for the Marquis.
We we do to some degree, I suppose.
At least the Marquis are aware that our money is moving to them. Some money is moving to them. But
Yeah.
Bam Bam is more than likely just confused. I'm sure.
Well, she told me about the supremacy of squirrels.
Give me a roll with cunning here.
Oh, that was actually a good roll. That is, well, 6.
On a 6. You see your dad's face like drop for a moment, but he immediately comes back to normal. I think he probably just looks like he's concerned more for your well-being than anything. All right, supremacy of squirrels. That's not really something I'm familiar with. But yes, we do still work for the Marquis. We maybe just don't work as hard for them as we used to.
Okay, I mean, I guess in some ways I mean, I don't work for the Marquis anymore, but you know, you know how I had to run away and lay low for a little while, that I don't really work for the Marquis, and so it's I don't know. I'm just so tired of all of this, Dad. This war, this everything that's going on, people not saying who they really are or what how do I even know what's real anymore?
He just looks at you like very, very sullenly, and is just like, I don't really have a good answer. There's no making sense of war. But if you're looking for work or something of the sort, I think I think we could provide that. I don't think it will give you answers to the questions you're asking now. There's no making sense of it, Red.
But then all of the destruction is for nothing. I gotta find answers somewhere. It's good to see you, Dad, but I don't think I can stay here. I think I have to keep going and see what else I can find in the world.
He is just like, you can see he is fighting back tears, and just says, "Okay, we'll be here uh, if you need anything. It was good to see you, and I love you, Red. I'll tell your mother you say hello."
Yes, yes, please do. I love you too, Dad. Stay safe.
Right. And he sort of like puts down a cup of tea that he was, getting ready to prepare, and moves his way to the entrance of the door and opens it for you and sort of ushers you out, and gives you a kiss on the forehead, hugs you very tightly, and then again pulls you back, takes one last look at you, and just says, "You look good, Red. Really good.
Thanks.
Welcome." And he shuts the door, and you can hear him quietly sobbing just behind it, as you make your way down the steps, and to wherever you'd like to go. Cool. Let's move to the rest of the group. Let's go to Thea. I'm curious. He's going to listen to Tears for Fears, yes. Theo, what is your plan? What are you looking for? Where have you split off to?
So Thilo typically, makes his choices based on what everyone else is doing. So because everyone else spread out, Thilo's going back to check in with Cal.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you find Cal sitting by herself in a patch of grass working on a couple different tinkering things. I would say that Cal, you do see Theo as he kind of comes up. I don't imagine Theo's coming up stealthily or anything like that. So you can
Gently, but not.
yeah. So you can halt your murmuring and such as you see that Theo is approaching you.
She probably wouldn't necessarily look up for very long. Like she'd maybe glance up enough to acknowledge that you're approaching her. But she would just very quickly like direct her eyes back to what she's doing and then just say like, I'll take a look at the arm later. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Thilo just kind of plops down and takes out patina and his dagger and starts working himself. So all I'm really doing, my mechanical mantis, patina, is entirely worn out, right? I've had him for a while, and I've done repairs to it. It's the thing that wears out, but it's beyond what I've done before. All I'm really kind of doing now is kind of assessing the damage, and with the tip of my dagger, on all the little joints and moving mechanisms, I'm just sort of cleaning out, right? So that's the patina that is all over this thing. Where those joints are, I'm kind of cleaning it out and getting that copper flush back, right? And I'm just kind of focused on that and sitting quietly with Cal after a little time. Long day. You okay?
Can Cal kind of like look at the damage like out of the corner of her eye what she's doing? Like can she look at the mantis?
Yeah.
And see what's wrong with it?
I won't say that immediately. Well, go ahead and give me a roll with cunning. See if you know.
Which D6 do I use this time? With cunning?
Yeah.
10.
10. Yeah, you can see some of the issues that are going on. Some of the gears are a little bit rusted out after having been used way more times than are probably used to. And you can see that like this thing has like a little, almost like a face. It's less like a person's caricature and more of like a almost like what a masquerade mask would be, with like these big gems for eyes, and little like slits with clockwork gears. You can see it looks very, very tired, but you also can see that those gears that are rusted out, as you go to like work your fingers into them, and just
she doesn't
move.
have it. She's just observing. I'm still cleaning.
Oh, okay. You can see that as Theo is cleaning those gears, like they are rusted out, and it does seem like that is what is tiring out the little mantis.
Okay. Would Cal like rather than answer Thilo's question, at least at the moment, she's gonna kind of just like stare at the mantis for a bit and then look at her toolbox and rummage through it for a bit and just looks for gears around similar sizing, almost like to offer to replace like the ones that have rusted out. She would just like get a handful of them like in the palm of her hand and just like hold them out, and then like in exchange for that I would like take a depletion to offer the gears for him to repair that part of the mantis, or at least maintain it.
I might suggest that I've given her some materials. She might not need to do a depletion.
Either way,
it's more just me offering.
Either way, yeah, I think it's more of the gesture. Feel free to mark a depletion, but you guys can take a rest after this is all said and done. So like, yeah, absolutely. You find like a number of different gears that would be maybe not the exact same shape and size, but that would fit together in a way that would work for your intended purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, without like necessarily like saying what they were for, I think the gesture would kind of be enough in itself, but she would just like what was it, hold her hand out to offer them and stuff and that, and then just say like for the maintenance.
I accept them. Thank you.
And she'll go back to what she's doing.
I start tinkering myself. I'm not a tinkerer, but this is familiar to me, so I'm kind of working the bits and the pieces. Sometimes I just get to a spot where even if I can't fix it, I just start cleaning it. It's just a better place to put my mind.
It takes you out of the present moment. It removes
I
you.
actually didn't hear that, and it was meant to.
Why is my dear so quiet? She'll she'll just say, it takes you out the present moment. It removes you from the situation in a way.
Slows it down at least.
How are you?
I need things to slow down so I can catch up.
Well, this is a good way of slowing down, at least for me. But I'm not the best at talking, but if you ever need silence, I can be there.
I can give that to you too.
Cal nods.
I'm not pushing it for anything else. I think that we're just enjoying some peace and trust.
Beautiful. Yeah. You guys are sitting in silence, tinkering on your respective gadgetry, and kind of a very cool joined alliance that I did not anticipate. Yeah, that was beautiful. Yeah, so as you guys are sort of like tinkering away there, you do see Red sort of moving about to the north of you there. So we will end there as as Cal and Thelonious are sort of sharing this moment together. We see Red just outside of her original parents' house, seeking information that her father was unwilling to give up for one reason or another. And we also see Rebecca and Sanvi running into town, apparently about to get into some kind of mischievous sort of activities. So maybe we can cover that in some one-on-ones if you guys want to do like a little mischievous thing. We'll do that as like a bonus content. But yeah, that's.
But we also don't have a what happens next. Like we're gonna open up to this. There's room for there too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, I'm excited for like Z to come back out and give you guys some information as well. I know he's been long looming in the distance here. But yeah, that's where we will wrap for tonight. Cool. Yeah, thanks guys.